At Naomi Morris 27. OMG, so now you're going around Israel selling Jesus to our youth. What's wrong with you people? Have you no shame? Can you not just leave us alone? First, it was through forced conversions and being burned at the stake, ghettos, blood libels, and inquisition in Spain, crusades across Europe where you slaughtered God knows how many of us, and now because none of that worked, you try to soft sell the method in Israel. You people are pariahs, get the hell out of our country and leave us alone. You want to believe in Jesus, go for it, we won't stop you. But don't you dare target our youth. Shameless. A true Christian would not try to sell his wares to a Jew. I know, because I have Christian friends who respect me and my faith in the one indivisible, incorporeal, and only God that there is. I think we should have like fire emojis all over the place while reading this pop up.
That's a lot. Okay. Uh-huh. Some of this is maybe just a misunderstanding. Like, we don't target anybody. We don't talk to anybody who's a minor. We go out and we dialogue with people who have agreed to dialogue with us and given their permission. Maybe they've jumped to some conclusions about what we do. I don't know, Jeff, what do you say?
Well, yeah. I mean, everybody we talk to has agreed to be filmed. They're all adults. They're all legal. We don't talk to minors. And we respect people's rights. If they don't want to talk to us, we don't talk to them. But a lot of people are open and find what we say fascinating. And as adults, I think people should be able to engage in any conversation that they want and make up their own minds about the content of that conversation. So I want to go a little bit into the Tanakh, though, with regards to this comment, because the comment's really saying, do your thing and leave us alone. In Isaiah 52, verse 7, it says, the Hebrew prophet says, how beautiful on the mountains are the feet of those who bring good news, who proclaim peace, who bring good tidings, who proclaim salvation. This is an act of someone going out and sharing about God to people out there. Blessed is that person. In Matthew 28, it says, go and make disciples of all nations. In Acts 1, verse 8, Jesus tells his Jewish disciples that they will be his witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. So, like, to your point, we don't target anyone. We're living our faith out. We are Jews living in Israel with our Jewish families, with our Jewish children who are taught certain types of Judaism here in Israel that we may not agree with.
Mhm.
They are also approached by Chabad organizations. This is the way life is. It's not just us sharing our faith as we're instructed to do by God. Um,
Yeah.
all organizations in some way share their faith with those. We share the thing that we worship and that we love the most with other people. And we know this is a reality here in Israel and around the world. And so we don't go to these organizations and threaten them and how dare you and you better leave the country and leave us Jews alone. We're Jews ourselves, and we just teach our kids what we want them to learn and realize that God has his hand on them. And if we worry so much and try to control all the other groups out there that are doing what they're doing, we're going to go crazy and also bring a lot of hate and division into the world. And so this
Mhm.
person also goes into what a true Christian would do. A true Christian would leave us alone and respect us, that we believe in the one true God. What most Jewish people don't know is the difference between a cultural Christian and a real,
Mhm.
true Bible believing, Jesus following Christian, because the cultural Christian just says, well, just live and let be. I have mine, you have yours. And a lot of Jewish people say that as well. And as a true Christian who follows and worships Jesus, they worship the Jewish Messiah, and who understands that Jesus is for the Jews first and foremost. And
Mhm.
they would share their faith with all people, including the Jews. I just did a video the other day, a short video. I'll put the link up here for that one. It might be over here, over here. Yeah, I think it's over here. The pop-out card, where a non-Jewish Christian from England, I was over in England, and he said, he
I
said,
saw that. Yeah.
yeah, he's like, I went to Israel during the time of the war because I want to let the Jewish people know that I worship the Jewish Messiah and I love Israel and I love the Jewish people. And he understands as a Christian that this message is first and foremost for the Jews, and he is so grateful that the Jewish Messiah saved him, gave him a new heart, that new heart that you were talking about. And so he wanted to go share that with the Jewish people. So a true Christian this is how they would actually live. The true Christians died trying to save the lives of Jews in the Holocaust. Those were real Christians.
I'm smiling because I'm thinking about all these people on social media. Maybe it's just girls. You see all these girls being like, I'm not going to gatekeep. Have you seen that?
No,
Like, okay, it's
no,
just me. No, no, no. This is a thing. Okay, because I'm watching like people, that are like, giving all their like fashion tips or whatever. And that's what they say. They say, like real girlfriends don't gatekeep, meaning I'm not going to just withhold all my tips, whatever it is, my fitness tips or something, so that I can be better than everybody else. Like if you're, a good person is going to share their knowledge openly, right? And that's sort of the culture. That's influencer culture, right? Is like we're all sharing with each other. And so I mean, maybe that should be our new slogan. Like we don't gatekeep. Like we found something that changed our lives. So we want to share it with people and they can take it or leave it. But why would we keep it to ourselves? That's just like, that would be kind of a bad thing. It would be almost a selfish thing,
I
in my
agree. I
opinion.
agree. So I just wanted to mention something because something just popped out in this comment that I didn't really consider before. And this person says, a true Christian would not try to sell his wares to a Jew. I know because I have Christian friends who respect me and my faith in the one indivisible, incorporeal, and only God there is. And so what the Jewish person here is claiming that God is
Mhm.
incorporeal, which means he cannot or will not assume bodily form. He can't take on flesh, which is, first of all, not biblical. God has appeared throughout our Tanakh in human form, visible, eating, walking, getting his feet washed, and so forth.
Mhm.
And second, what the person is actually saying to the Christian is that your faith is wrong because you believe that Jesus is God in the flesh. So a true Christian is not the type of Christian that this person is describing here. A Christian does actually believe in a God that can take on flesh. A real Christian actually does share his faith because
Right.
out of love, because they want to see their friends and family and even their enemies saved.
I think though that comments like these often, there's a bit of a defensiveness that I do resonate with on some level because as Jewish people, we have been through so much persecution. We have been targeted. We have been oppressed throughout
Absolutely.
history. And so there is like a fear, that we have to protect ourselves. We have to protect our youth. And, Christians or anybody else, could you just, respect us, stand with us, and I really do actually resonate with that in a lot of ways. And I think some of that is why, as a Jewish person, I feel like it's so important for me to step up and share this message with my own people. And I know you feel that way as well, Jeff, as a Jewish man, because our people deserve to hear the good news of Messiah in from other Jews, right? Not as a always as a Gentile message, coming in from the outside. This started with us. This
Right.
is our this is for us, right? And so to hear about Jesus from other Jewish people in a context that is free from oppression or pressure or any kind of the the some of that baggage of in history, how sometimes Jesus was presented to Jewish people as convert or get out of our country. It's some of those just horrible things that have happened, and
Right.
despite those things, the teachings of Jesus have transformed the world and have transformed people's lives, Jewish and Gentile, and Jewish people deserve to hear about that from other Jews.
I'm glad you brought that up. And it's a huge point to make because even as Messianic Jews or Jewish believers in Jesus, we actually have we've gone through the same, we have the same history in our lineage.
Mhm.
We have that same guardedness of, I mean, I live in Israel right now, and Jew hatred around the world is at a peak,
Yeah.
and I live in Israel where attacks are coming in from all angles and all sides. And I don't always feel safe as a Jew in the world. And so we're not excluded from this people group that has been persecuted through the centuries. We're still in it. If I was during the Holocaust, if I was a believer in Jesus at the time as a Jew, I'd still be taken to the camps and gassed and burned.
Yeah, and I really appreciate Jeff how you just shared, just about yourself. And I feel the same way. Like it's a difficult time to be Jewish. Here in America, I think a lot of people feel like, wow, for 50 years, 60 years, we kind of thought we were in this like post Semitic time period. It was in the past, we were building a better future, and now it feels like, wow, was that an illusion? Anti-Semitism is on the rise in a crazy, crazy way. And maybe there's an expectation it was going to come back around. And I've noticed for some of the older generations who lived so much of their life in this, Americana, era where there was very little anti-Semitism, they're just in shock. Like, I
Yeah,
can't believe that I would ever see something like this in my lifetime. Right. And so Jewish people really are hurting right now. And I think how much more important is it that we, share the hope and the peace that we have, that we've found as Jews, and
mm,
that we reclaim Jesus as one of us and really reject anyone who would use his teachings, or use his name, in a totally perverted way,
right.
to cause oppression or persecution of anyone.
Totally agree. 100%.